Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what's up? My name is Sal and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the February 12th slate. It's a Tuesday here in the Northeast, a blizzardy day, an icy day, this NBA DFS slate. What we're going to do is we're going to break it down like we always do, looking at injuries, pace, Vegas odds, defense versus position, and some of my early interests. If this is your first time here, like I said, my name is Sal Vetri. Welcome to the channel. I cover daily fantasy sports from an NFL scope, NBA, and we're going to be getting into MLB when the time comes, and then also some other niche sports like golf and maybe MMA here and there as well. So welcome to the channel. If at any point this video or this channel gives you value, we have some strategy type videos you can check out. Please hit that like button. If you're a returning subscriber, hit that like button. It helps me move up the rankings and just be seen by other people who can get this value. And also consider subscribing if you're not already. We're around 2,600 subscribers in like 5 months. It's insane growth. I love it. I love all of you who are supporting me, just kind of pushing this little side hobby of mine while I'm in college to potentially be a career at this point based on the growth and the attention that we're getting. So thank you so much. What I do here is try and give you as much value as possible. Before we get into this video, I would like to just shout out Next Level DFS. Right now we're streaming on Twitch, and again, this is just going to be repetitive if you've been watching me, but there's a lot of new people seeing this. So right now we're streaming on Twitch, which is a live streaming platform. It can be more interactive with questions, especially after I do these YouTube recordings. So make sure to hop over there. It's in the description below. You could follow me on Twitch, be notified when I start. Next Level DFS. They have a Facebook page for DFS. Not only do they have a Facebook page, they have a website and they provide DFS content. They also have a premium Facebook group where it's just nonstop. You're probably going to get thousands of messages a day, honestly, but there's a lot of data. There's a lot of good information. You'll never miss any type of news. They're helping me build my streaming platform, helping me get people in these live chats to build my Twitch audience. So I greatly appreciate them. Thank you guys so much. You should check them out. It's also going to be in the description below. And lastly, for housekeeping, before we start, I do want to shout out our sponsor for today's video. It's going to be Draft Dashboard. I've talked about them before. I use Draft Dashboard for research, reducing my research time in the mornings when I make these videos. It's easy to find usage rates, minutes per game. They do their own projections. They do ownership a couple of times a day. And again, they're an up-and-coming research platform for DFS, and they're cheaper than some of the other ones out there, which is nice. The benefit of Draft Dashboard, at least for you guys, is that I got a promotion 30 days for $1 for Draft Dashboard, so you can test it out if you want. There are lineup optimizers. There is an NBA cheat sheet, so if you do want the quick cheat sheet for the day, who's in the best positions, things like that, sort of like a summary. You don't have a lot of time, you can read that as well. So really good for reducing your research time. I'll drop a link right now quickly for anybody who is interested in Draft Dashboard for 30 days for $1. I'm just going to drop it into this Twitch chat, and it'll be in the description below. Let's start off this video now that we got all the housekeeping out of the way. Actually, one last quick thing. There's a DK tournament for me. I'm starting, or a league. There's a league on Draftkings that we're starting. Matty Ice, if you want to drop that in the Twitch chat, it's going to be in the YouTube description below. We're going to have a bunch of different tournaments a day, contests a day, 50-50s, just things at low stakes for you guys to get in on, especially if you're new to NBA. It'll be a good way to sort of learn with the community, things like that. So definitely check it out. That'll be dropped in the Twitch chat. But let's start it off, right? We have a 5-game slate today, and the first thing on this list is the thing that probably annoys me the most in DFS, and it's when Kyrie Irving is out. When Kyrie Irving is out, and we usually get this news pretty early, right? When Kyrie Irving is out, the whole entire team on Boston is just through the roof, potential upside for 30 points for all of them, probably in the same game, right? Everybody's ceilings increase, everybody's floors increase, their averages, everything's increasing here. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum see the biggest usage bumps, both above 25%. You get a guy like Al Horford who gets more offense run through him. Terry Rozier is the obvious replacement at point guard for a guy like Irving, but DraftKings has kind of caught on to this point per minute Terry Rozier when Irving is out, and he's priced up to a point where he's one of the only guys who's overpriced in this situation. So we're going to look into more of those guys. I have impacted players being Rozier, Brown, and Tatum based on usage, but you can go even further. Marcus Smart, Al Horford, Gordon Hayward, Marcus Morris. The entire team is going to see a bump when your 30+% usage guy, best player on the team, highest scoring player on the team, just sits. So keep that in mind. Andre Iguodala, Golden State really is just a 5-man team in terms of fantasy, but if you do want to try and find value on a slate where there are naturally built-in value due to Boston and some other things, Kevon Looney's going to see a minutes increase there, nothing crazy. Josh Hart out doesn't really impact much for me. LeBron James is going to be probable. We have to put this on here. Load management. It might be a joke, but LeBron James is probable. Kyle Anderson out today. That'll help Justin Holiday still secure these 35-plus minutes that he sees. Ivan Robb, more so a power forward, but we do have Kyle Anderson now listed as a small forward, power forward on DraftKings. So Ivan Robb should see just a little bit more usage And then there's going to be more guys there. We have all the power forwards on this team. We have a lot more depth. Bruno, whoever it might be. Anthony Davis probable. Still going to be on a minutes restriction. But the thing to note is his price is now 10-3, right? It dropped from $11,000. So Draftkings has accounted for that. We're going to see 30 minutes out of Anthony Davis today. I'm going to say he's in play at $10,000 for a guy who can go 2 fantasy points per minute pretty commonly or consistently. So definitely monitor that, see if we get any minutes on that. Elfrid Payton's questionable. This is big for Drew Holiday. We'll see more ball handling duties if he remains out, and guys like Frank Jackson and Tim Frazier are going to remain value plays with not much upside. Tim Frazier more tournament upside. Julio Okafor is probable today, so if anything happens late with Anthony Davis, they've already said he's going to play in both games this week. Just if anything does weird happen, Okafor's there at a very nice discount of $5,500. Rudy Gay is probable, popped up on the injury report, but nothing to worry about. And then pretty much after that, something interesting to mention, Jonas Valanciunas, he's waiting for his immigration paperwork to change over. He was in Toronto, so now he's in the States, so it's taking a little longer for him to actually get this trade through and process for Memphis. If he sits out, Joakim Noah, a guy who nobody had, 0% Joakim Noah, went off in the last game for like 8x, he's going to get the biggest bump. But there's going to be more minutes to go around for Ivan Robb, Jaren Jackson Jr. So he's questionable. Follow that. The main news is that Kyrie Irving's out. Other than that, just watch the status of a guy like Elfrid Payton. And of course, this is all being shot at 11 a.m., so a lot of things are subject to change. So keep that in mind for sure. So that's injury news. There are no back-to-backs today, 5-game slate, so it is pretty common to see that, especially earlier in the week. No back-to-backs today, so nothing there to worry about. For those of you wondering any impacts of back-to-backs in general, the impacts are usually on older players or guys that have been dealing with injuries. So like Anthony Davis, so like Kevin Love, guys who have been dealing with injuries or just certain situations like Anthony Davis's. They're guys to worry about on back-to-backs. Younger players, you usually don't see it or really have to be concerned at all. We're going to slide over to this Vegas dashboard now, and then we'll quickly get into the target offense sheet, the sheet that I like the most. So we have this, actually we do not have this filter yet. We'll filter it right now by highest total. And we have a lot of good games in the slate. 4 out of the 5, 225 points and a half or more. We're going to see a lot of points today. Tournaments will probably won with somewhat high scores. It's a smaller slate, so that usually limits it. But somewhat high scores when you have a couple of games, or 4 out of the 5, over 225 combined points. And you can see, based on the lines that we have today, a lot of these games should be good, or at least should be competitive all the way throughout. So I do like that. It means pretty much everybody's in play for me. You do see Memphis and San Antonio. There are pieces in this game, at least early on, and we'll see that do interest me. But as of right now, there's not much, and I'm fine getting away from it if it means that I'm going to be getting 16 more points projected in these other games. Again, don't fully fade these because there are opportunities to get some value plays in these games, to get some guys who are just underpriced. But again, look for the over-unders with the highest total. We can see some of them here today, 236.5. I am very, very excited for this Lakers-Atlanta game. Very excited. Philadelphia and Boston as well. A lot of good games in the slate today. We're going to get right into this target offense sheet, which I've been getting a lot of good feedback about. As always, continue to let me know and continue to just drop in at any point in the comments, in the Twitch chat, if there's anything you want to see me add to this team sheet. Before we do that, I have one more thing that is very cool, actually, that the guys in Twitch, definitely since this is interactive, I want to let you guys know about, and also the people on YouTube. This is Thrive Fantasy, and look at this. Sal friggin' Vetri. Italiano himself. We got a tournament on Thrive Fantasy, which is just a player props. You compete head-to-head. We got a tournament today with 9 spots left. They were nice enough to make a tournament to test it out. They were going to be a potential sponsor or affiliate for me. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it if we can fill this. We just need 9 people pretty much. A couple of people played last night. It's fun. So the main thing you do here is you just guess over-under player props. So 25.5 points for LeBron today. Do you think he's going to get that or not? You just pick 10 out of all the ones they have here, so you don't have to pick them all. And then you pick 2 backups in case something happens, like a guy gets ruled out or something. The thing that's interesting, though, if you pick all 10 and you get them all right, you still might not win because each one is valued differently. So the ones that's favored, just like if you're betting, is going to go over, is going to be less points. So it's just a way. There's some game theory here. Again, I'm going to drop the link right now in the Twitch. I'm going to drop the link quickly in the Twitch for you guys. And the thing to note, especially for everybody here, is that you get, with this link that I'm dropping, you get a $10 deposit match. So free $10 if you enter $10. You get a free $20 if you enter $100. And if you enter $200 and you want to be a high roller, you get a free $50, so 25% match. This is the link to it right here. And the password, it's invite only. The password is Sal, all lowercase, S-A-L, easy enough. So I greatly appreciate it. By the time people are watching on YouTube, hopefully it's not filled. but please, please, please get in there. This is what it looks like. You just follow that link. It'll be in the YouTube description below. If you guys can help me just fill 9 people in this, it'll help me a ton. So thank you so much. We have 8 hours to fill it. Let's just do it, guys. We can do it for sure. So that's all out of the way. Just another potential sponsor. It'll help me out for sure. So today we have the offenses to target. It's filtered by pace. Pace is just a projection, right? It's how many possessions there's going to be in the game per team. We do that by factoring each team's pace in. And if we want to go to the pace page quick, we can see Atlanta. Look at this. 5 teams today in the top 10. The 2 teams that are the 2 highest pace today are playing each other. That's what you love to see. That's what's going to generate a lot of offense in this Atlanta Lakers game. That's why I'm excited about it. There's some plays that I usually don't like to play on the Atlanta side that I do like to play today. So you can see the pace here is just 6 more possessions than any potential game per team, so 12 more total, just because both these teams play at such a fast pace. There's a lot of good athletes on both sides. Atlanta's usually a team that are similar to like Miami, that it's just hard to get the guy who's going to be going off. John Collins, though, Trae Young, I like these guys today. We'll get into it. And then here's just last 30 days in terms of Draftkings. It's how that team defends that specific position in terms of DraftKings points. I look at DraftKings points because I think it's the best in terms of what we want to do here. We want to get the most DraftKings points. So I look at it in terms of DraftKings points. There's other ways to look at it, such as defensive efficiency, rebounding. But break down into this number. I had somebody reach out to me and say, in the data, it didn't look like yesterday Drummond against Washington was in a great spot. I think it was a mistake just looking at the wrong thing, but even if this number isn't green, or even if it's not in the 20s, don't just go off of that. It's a good indicator on a high level, but if you break down into it, Drummond is one of the best rebounders in the entire league. Washington's rebounding rate for every single one of their players, because they don't have a true center, is awful. It's terrible. Trevor Ariza is a top rebounder for that team. Jeff Green is a top rebounder for that team. These are things that you have to keep in mind. You have to break deeper into the numbers. If you're just plugging and placing based on what's in green, you're probably not going to win, because that's just a piece to the puzzle, right? And you need to break down further into it. So this is just a spot to look at. It's very good. You can take a screenshot. I'll be posting these in the Facebook groups Next Level, in my Facebook group on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter yet, it should be in the little bottom part of the screen. I changed my @name, so it's just easier, maybe more professional for what we're doing here. I'll post updates there throughout the day for sure. The thing to keep in mind on this page, obviously the defense versus position, but these paces are just phenomenal today. A lot of high-scoring games. Every single game except this San Antonio-Memphis game is over the league average in terms of pace. And we get this Atlanta-Lakers game, 2 top 5 teams in pace. Just points galore. Should stay close with a 5-point spread. I love it. I love it a lot. We're going to get into my interests right now. So guard position we're going to start with. Again, these guys aren't any sort of... they're not my picks, right? It's too early in the morning for me to even consider giving out picks. I don't give out picks just in general anyways, because there's no point in me telling you who to play when it's always a toss-up, because it's always so variant. I can't guess who's going to be playing good. We could use the data to help that, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm not going to pick your lineups for you, because it's your money at the end of the day. I don't need that type of liability. But yeah, so... You're going to see a lot of Boston guys, maybe the whole team on these sheets, because Rozier, yeah, he's interesting. He's $6,900 though, right? He needs to get you 35 points for you to feel good. I don't know if I'm throwing $6,900 guy Terry Rozier in cash, hoping that he gets me 35 points, because, yeah, his ceiling could be in the 40s, the mid to high 40s. Do I think it's going to happen today? He's in a good spot, right? High total, decent pace. Just 6,900. There's a lot of other places to go, and we're gonna see some of them. Marcus Smart, 4,900. This is a decent pivot off of a guy like Rozier, especially in tournaments. He has that 40-plus point ceiling. He just has to kind of get the 3-ball going a little bit. Drew Holiday, 8,500. Drew Holiday's scary because he's priced down from where he was, $9,200 when Anthony Davis was out. And he's priced down a good amount, right? $700. But is it still enough if Anthony Davis is going to be playing 30 minutes today, or maybe even more since it's not a back-to-back? Is that still enough for me to like Drew Holiday at 8,500 on this slate? As of right now, no. But again, he's a guy who does have 40 to 50 point upside. Rajon Rondo is scary. $5,900. Has a great matchup today. The Hawks have given up the most points to the point guard position because they give up just more possessions, right? And there's a lot more opportunities to score over the last 30 days in terms of DraftKings points. But Rondo didn't start last game. I think we got point LeBron James and Reggie Bullock started. So something to monitor, see what the starting rotation's like in this game. Brandon Ingram starting at shooting guard. I do like that. I don't like usually playing shooting guards, but he's sort of a hybrid. Once he's on the court at shooting guard, he'll take over the small forward, the power forward position if he stays on the court and some other guys come out. 5,500 is too cheap in a good matchup. Trae Young, you could see a lot of guys from this Lakers-Atlanta game. I like Trae Young at 6,700. Last game out, he burned me a little bit. I'm fine going back to the well with him in this situation. DeRozan, not a guy I play a lot. Usually get to Aldridge on this team if I ever do. Again, not a great spot on this slate in terms of overs, in terms of pace. But DeRozan in general, 7,300 is fairly priced. Ricky Rubio, 5,800. See, look, a guy like Ricky Rubio is 1,100 less than Rozier, and I think he has a very similar, maybe Rozier's floor is a little bit higher with no Kyrie there, and Rubio still battling guys like Mitchell and Gobert for just usage. But Rubio, $5,800. You're getting 1,100 savings off a guy like Rozier, who in tournaments is going to be way more chalky. Probably, I would say. We'll have to see. I think Rubio's a decent play. Kevin Huerter, we say he's a ghost. You can see right through him, but $4,800, he's too cheap for a guy who's consistently going out there when he gets his 30 minutes and putting up 25-plus Draftkings points. In cash, he's a decent play. Reggie Bullock, $3,400. They had him at min price last time. I don't know what Draftkings is doing. If we see a similar lineup to where Reggie Bullock is starting at the 2, and he had 31 minutes last game. He's going to get around 30 minutes. He had one of his worst games he could have, right? 1 of 5 shooting or whatever. He had a couple of steals and assists or 2. He had one of his worst games that he can have. And if we go over here and we find Reggie Bullock, $3,400, one of his worst games when he's at $3,000. He scored 13 points. That's not going to get it done for you. If he does it again, I'm fine going back to the well with him at $3,400. Probably more so in cash. But again, fringier plays, has to be in the starting lineup. I'm not going after him if he's not. Ben Simmons, $7,800. His price continues to drop. I think Tobias Harris is impacting him. It is only a 2-game sample, so it's hard to see. But $7,800 is something of interest, not meaning I'm going to play him, but something to note that he's now below $8K for a guy who has the upside, has the ability to triple-double any night. Let's move over to the forward position now. Make sure everything's still up and running. It seems like it is up and running. That link is broken, we see. Let me quickly look at this. No, I think that link works. It just opened for me. If you're talking about the Thrive Fantasy, I think that link works. I'll check it out afterwards, though. So, we're at the forward position. We got all these emails popping up and all that. Come on, get out of there. So, LeBron, 10-5. I think most expensive on the slate. He's definitely going to be of interest to me. Just has a great matchup today. Just great situation. I like it a lot. Tatum, Brown, similar situations. Brown's $1,000 less. Here's the thing with Brown. Brown's going to be the higher owned guy because he's cheaper and because we see him get a huge usage bump, the highest usage bump on this team. If Brown's not starting, I don't like him nearly as much. And I don't know if he's going to be starting, especially with Marcus Morris probably starting at the 4, then Tatum gets to start at the 3, and then Marcus Smart gets to start at the 2. So Brown is always interesting because he's cheap, but if he's coming off the bench, is there really such upside there? In cash, probably, right? Especially at lower stakes. In tournaments, I think you're fine going under the weight on Brown if he's going to be coming off the bench. Manny Laura, if you guys watched yesterday's stream when we hosted it, he said this perfectly. I said Lou Will's the only guy who's coming off the bench at higher chalk that I would consider playing. But outside of that, usually you don't want a guy who's a backup and he's not starting and he's chalky. There's just a lot of things that can go wrong. We'll have to watch that with Brown. Kyle Kuzma, $6,000 is fine. His price came up $500 after going berserk. I think it's still fine. Joe Ingles, $5,000 is going to be a guy who's different. Like him a little bit more in cash, but in tournaments, definitely a flyer. Just doesn't really have that ceiling, but at $5,000, he's a little cheap. Derek Favors at $4,800. Just natural. Nothing to happen here. It's natural. You're getting natural value at $4,800. I like it a lot. Isaac and Ferner, I'm not really sure what to do. We have Ross as well with these Orlando guards as of right now. Very similarly priced, $5,400 for Ross. Get these guys $100 apart. If we're talking cash, I think I like Isaac a little bit more. Fournier, I like him a little bit more in tournaments, but again, not really sure if I'm going to have to get there. Morris, $5,000, again, just another Boston guy. John Collins, $7,600, like him a lot. Not really many rebounders on this Lakers team, right? I mean, JaVale McGee is the starting center. LeBron can be playing any position. He can rebound, of course. But Kyle Kuzma is going to have to be battling out. I think this is a spot, especially with the pace. It's a good spot for Collins. Again, Collins, 25 and 12 here, something like that. At $7,600, his price is reduced below $8K. It's staying in this range, coming down a little bit. I like him a lot. Randall, $7,400. If we get any news that we're going to get 25 minutes today from Davis, like we have been getting 25, 30 last game, I do like Randall at $7,400. If we're going to get 30 minutes out of Davis, I halt myself a little bit, just less upside. Ivan Robb, they said he's going to stay in the starting rotation, $5,600 I like. We talked about Kevon Looney, $3,800. Only if Iguodala was out if you desperately need to find space in a tournament. He's probably not cash viable, though. He's too fringy. Let's move over to the center position. All right. We got 33 people in this live stream. What's going on, everybody? We're going to get to your questions very soon once we finish this up. Again, YouTube, if you want to get in this live stream, down below, you'll get my schedule. You'll get the Twitch link, and you can just follow, and you'll get notified whenever I go live. On Twitter, we have our schedule posted. A lot of other things down there for free, the 9-page PDF, a lot of other things to check out. So, Joel Embiid, I like a lot at 10-2. I like Joel Embiid anytime he goes out there because of this, 33% usage. Love that. Going up against Al Horford, just no nightmare of a matchup at all for him. Joel Embiid, 10-2, I like it. He's a little bit less than LeBron. We had the same decision 2 days ago between Joel and LeBron. Joel went off for 60 plus. He's just a freak, 37 and like 14 in that game. Is Joel top 5 in the NBA right now? I asked my friends if he's top 7. I think it's a debate to have. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about that. Vooch, 9,500. I never really get to Vooch. He kind of dudded last game. Only getting around 40 on a small slate, though. That helps. That's all you really need. Good matchup today. Not really sure I'll get to him. We'll have to see what lineup construction looks like. LaMarcus Aldridge, one of the more underrated guys in DFS. One of the more underrated, underpriced guys on a night in and night out basis. If he was priced at like 8,100, I'd say okay. 7,700, I think, is a little bit low. This 2 right here, don't be scared away from this. He's playing Memphis. Yeah, Memphis is really good at defending, but Marc Gasol was a decent part of that. He's out of there now in Toronto, so that number is sure to be coming down or just changing a little bit. Al Horford, 6,300 with Kyrie out, I think is a good price. If Al Horford's price ever goes below 6K again, it's just criminal. 6,300 without Kyrie. There's more upside there for him, more usage spike. I do like it in a pretty good matchup. JaVale McGee, 4,800. I don't know why they don't raise his price. He's the only true center out there. He's going to continue to probably see right around 30 minutes. If we go to McGee here, in a high-paced game, a lot of potential scoring here. I love McGee. 30 minutes, 26 minutes, averaging, 2-game sample, 28 minutes. Only true center on this team. Now Chandler's coming in as questionable, I believe we saw before we started this stream. It's probably not going to be updated yet here. Listed as questionable for Tuesday's game. I just love McGee even more if that happens. Who's really going to be coming in out there? Potentially, if we go to the Lakers here, you might see some Wagner. I really doubt this. More minutes there. Yeah, I mean, McGee is a lock. We have Muscala also questionable today. Or McGee, I shouldn't say he's a lock. He's just a very nice play. I don't know what lineups look like at all yet. 4,800. The fact that he's center eligible hurts. You want to get as many centers in your lineup as you can, so you need some power forwards to be able to do that. But we do have Horford. We do have Aldridge, both power forward eligible. Potentially can get them in your lineups. So that's it, gang. That is it. A lot of things we mentioned today. We mentioned Draft Dashboard, the sponsor of this video. Please check them out. 30 days for $1 down below. We mentioned Thrive Fantasy. This is the most important thing right now to me, is if we can fill this contest. They literally have a thing with my name on their website. So it would help if you guys can do that. I'll drop the link down below. Let's see if we got anybody in there yet. Nobody in there yet. So greatly appreciate that. The only way they'll continue to kind of sponsor me or back me is if I can get things like this filled. So only 10 people need to get in there. It would be much help if we can do that. And then, we mentioned some other things. Next Level DFS, make sure to check them out. The link down below to the Draftkings League is down there if you want to play with me and some of the other people from our Facebook group and community. It'd be awesome. So thank you so much for watching. If you watched all the way through this YouTube video, drop down below in the comments. Let me know. If you just subscribed to this channel, let me know. I want to know who you are. I want to introduce myself and say thank you. So my name's Sal. Best of luck on this 5-game slate today. I'm potentially going to be back tonight for a little live before lock type thing on Twitch. So watch out for that. Follow me on Twitter for updates. Best of luck, like I said. My name's Sal. Peace.